Whoa!
I think it ate like a pound of sand down inside of it on one of the volleyball court. Hey YouTube, it's me Protogenius. I'm back with another fun paper airplane tutorial. Now today we're going to be making a Cessna paper airplane. This is a new type of paper airplane that I've been coming up with that uses multiple pieces of paper. So come follow right along. So first off, we're going to take our regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 copy paper, and we're going to fold this right in half the long ways, just like this. And now, so this piece is actually going to be the top wing of the airplane. And we're going to fold into the middle now, off the side here. And these are going to be reference folds that we're going to end up using later. They're going to be used to make sure, or to just kind of make reference as we fold other parts in on themselves, so that it makes the wing pretty uniform. Alright, so now that we folded it this way, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to fold it in half the other direction, just like this. So once it's creased down here, just like this, we're actually going to take this right here, and we're going to flip it over, and you see this line right here. We're going to make these two, the line underneath it and the line on top, match. And just kind of put your finger in on top of this so that it makes a good line right into this midpoint right here. Okay, so now we're going to take that and we're going to do a reverse fold on this right here. We'll do a few reverse folds while we're doing this, by the way. I'm just going to get this good and creased here. And then we're going to take this and just fold this over and have this line on top match up with the underside here. So now we've got this. And we're going to just kind of open this up here and make what I call just kind of like a house fold. It looks kind of like a house. So we're going to take and put this piece in. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these side pieces here and we're going to kind of fold these in half of how big they are right now, right into that mid fold that we've got. Just like this. Now these are going, the reason why we do this little fold here is so that when we put our wing stabilizer piece in, it keeps it from tearing on the side, and you don't have to have as long as of a piece of paper to make it work. So now we're going to flip this piece over again and just go and do the other side now, just kind of mirroring what was done on the first side. And we're going for symmetry here as much as possible, just because we want it to look good, and if the folds are off a little bit from one side to the other, you'll notice it. The wings might not match up right or things. So we're going to take this fold here. There's a little line. We're just going to kind of fold this over. And then our other fold that we have, our reference fold, we're going to end up folding along that line here in a second once we get this one creased down good. And I'm just going to go ahead and reestablish that fold and crease this over. And if you notice, this is made so that this piece right here can just kind of flip right over on top of the other piece. And so we've got two little tabs up here on the front I'm kind of pushing out right now. And we're going to take that, we're going to fold this piece over, and those little tabs are going to go down inside of that piece. And so I like to make sure that this line is pulled back real good into the front of the wing area. And then this right here, we're going to kind of open these two little slot areas open and push these tabs down inside just like this. Once these are pushed in here, that wing is locked, and it actually gives us a bit of an airfoil so that this airplane can fly. Now this line back here, we actually use that to lock the main fuselage tabs to the wing. So now we're going to grab another sheet of copy paper here, and we're just going to fold it in half just like we did on the other side. And we're going to do a very similar fold on this one, but these aren't just going to be reference folds this time. Now, if you don't have it, like I said, if you don't have the 8.5 by 11 sheet of copy paper, the American style letter paper, don't worry about that too much, because this is this airplane, you can kind of improvise a bit with it. The wings just might be a little bit different size, but it's okay. So now I'm folding into the middle now, just like we did on the other one. And once these are folded in, we're going to actually leave them a bit. Or they're going to be reestablished as part of the tail structure of the airplane. But we're gonna open it up first, and we're gonna do a really simple fold that you guys are all familiar with here. We're gonna kind of do just a standard little simple airplane fold here, like as if we were going to make a regular little simple paper airplane. Fold that over here, and we're going to do the other side now. Make sure that these are lined up good. So once these pieces are folded over just like this, these are going to get flipped up right here. Now I'm going to do a reverse fold here. Just kind of hop ahead a little bit. Push this over like this, and then we're just going to crease this piece right here. So these are going to become our tail rudders and our elevators. So yeah, we're just going to push this over right here and just crease this piece right up into the point right here. So now that we have this, just make sure it's good and flattened out. Make sure our folds are creased and they're just established really well. And then we're going to take this point here and we're going to fold it just below this line. We don't want it to match up exactly with the line, because if it does, the tail will want to come apart more. So if we fold it just a little bit below, it actually makes a locking fold in the tail section, and the rudders stay where they're supposed to. They don't want to come apart. So just kind of flipped it over and reestablished on the other side here. And now we're going to take this area right here, and I'm just going to take my thumbnail actually, and I'm going to make a little crease right here on this area, or my fingernail. Just kind of crease that right there, and flip it over to do the exact same thing on the other side. So once this has been folded, you can see our little tail area here. See? The little tail rudders, and they look good. And now we're going to take and we're going to fold the sides in again to the middle, but don't fold it exactly to the middle line. Like, just make it a little bit shy of that line, because if you fold it all the way into the middle, when we go to double the tail boom over, it's actually going to make it want to have a really fat section right there, and you want it to be kind of more slender looking. It just makes it look more authentic. And so we're going to take this and just kind of push this over just gently like this. Yep. Just taking time to do a good job on this. We want it to look uniform on both sides. Get that symmetry going here. And so now once these have been folded, we're going to take these 2 points here and we're going to fold them over to the midline, just like I said, just shy of it, and then up into that point right there. So we're going to make a fold all the way down the tail section, the entire length of it, just making that point right there match up with the middle line, and then right up to the tip of this area right here. Very good. Now we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Just take this piece right here and fold this over, make it match up, and fold it right up to the point of the area that's going to actually end up inside of the airplane's fuselage area once we start doing our locking folds later on. Alrighty. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to, I'm just kind of establishing some of those folds here. We're going to fold this area up here. Just going to make 2 little tabs here. Going to come back about 2 inches from the front of the paper, and then just do this on both sides. I only fold, there's going to be 2 layers of paper here. Fold the piece that's already got a fold on it, and leave the 2 lower ones in there. Just for structure, we're going to leave it alone. Alright, so now we're going to push this in the middle. This is kind of one of the areas you'll notice it's kind of fat in this area when we go to fold it all together. Just kind of crease it right in half. And that's going to be our tail section right there. It's going to lock in to our airplane. So now that we've made this piece, we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side, and we're going to grab another sheet of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. And like I said, guys, if you don't have that kind, you can use something else, improvise with what you have. So we're going to take this, and just like what we did on the other ones, we're going to fold it right in half. Now this is going to be a reference fold. I don't like to use scissors, and I don't like to use cuts on my origami, you guys know that, but on this one, we actually, in order to make a stabilizing bar, we're going to have to make a bit of a cut here. And when it comes to like real mechanisms and stuff, I don't mind having a piece that's cut and replaced into the artwork in one way or another. So now we're going to go ahead and take our scissors here, and we're just going to cut off this end tab here. Just gently, just going in here. Careful not to cut the piece of paper above that's making our reference line here. And you'll notice that there's a fold right down the middle of this tab because of what we did before, and that's actually going to be a good reference fold for later, because we have to fold the piece of paper in half once we've made our other piece at some point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper and we're going to fold it back the other direction now. Just do this nice and gently here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to push in these side pieces, these lines that we had, we're going to reverse fold them in. Nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're gonna end up pulling back from the tip of the nose a bit right here after we do one other fold here real quick. But this is just for reference, this is the nose of the airplane here. We're gonna make a fold right here first though, so that we can tell where we need to put our other fold to. Just go ahead and do that right there. And now we're going to pull back a little bit from the tip of the nose for this fold, and then we're gonna make this line up right here with this new line that we just established. So now that we've got that piece, we're going to just do the same thing on the other side. Just make it look all nice and uniform. Alrighty. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold this side piece straight up like this, where the line is parallel with our other lines down below on the lower part of the paper where we cut before, where the tab had been. And we're going to just do that again right here on this side. Doing both sides of that. And now we're going to make the windshield section of the airplane. So we're just going to take and grab in the middle here and just kind of push up on this. Now, if I make this look a little easy, guys, I'm sorry. I've made so many of these airplanes. Forgive me for it. But you'll get it. It's not really that bad once you get the hang of this here. So I'm just going to kind of push this up a little bit at a time until our windshield looks like about how we'd want it to be. And once that's folded up, we're going to just take and we're going to fold this piece back down. And you'll notice that there's a little tab sticking up the top here where the windshield's going to end up connecting, or the windshield is popping up above the windshield. We're just going to fold that down later, so go ahead and flip this over and get the other tab on the other side. And then we're going to go ahead and fold this piece over on top and go the other direction just like this. Now once that's in there, we can just kind of push this down and out of the way, and that right there, that way the wing can attach without having that piece impeding its ability to be attached. So now we're going to take and we're going to grab this bottom tab, this bottom piece. So let me fix this here real quick. We're going to fold this piece over and to where it touches the tip of the nose of the airplane. So I'm just going to fold this over here, and this is just a reference fold we're going to do it on both sides. Just like this. Just go ahead and reverse it on the other side, or mirror it. And now we're going to do something a little bit scary here for a second, guys, but don't worry about it. It'll work out just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to open these back up again, and we're going to open the bottom of this up. Now this is why I say it might be scary, so just be careful not to unfold some of the other parts of it when you do this. So with those reference folds, we're going to push this inwards right down into the middle section of the fuselage. Just nice and gently in here. Make sure you push it in all the way to the tip of the nose, and don't let the other folds keep it out of the way there. Let it go all the way in. And then what we're going to do, once those are pushed in, we're just going to reestablish the folds that were there before. Just like this. You can see it's got the bottom piece just folds up like that. And right there. Now we're going to be able to start getting our other pieces to put together. Now, while the tail is going to fit right down inside of this, we need to make our stabilizing bar to come up from below for this as well. And so it's going to kind of go up in the middle area right here where I'm grabbing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just, you can see right here, that bottom area, we're going to end up making a tab out of that mid area. And so we have to have our stabilizing piece to attach to the wings. So we're going to take that other piece of paper that we cut before, and we're going to go ahead and grab this and fold it right in half, the long ways. And some of these are going to be reference folds, but just try to get them as straight as possible, because you will notice if this isn't straight, it's going to kind of have a more sloppy look if we don't get this good and straight here. So
So go ahead and fold that right in half there, and then we're going to take this other piece right here, and we're going to fold that over the other direction. Just fold it right back on itself. Just being careful to get our lines good and straight on this. Very good. Just go ahead and fold that over. Gently make everything match up here. No need to be in a hurry on this part. This part is you need to be a little bit more patient on this so you don't tear it. So I'm going to fold this over the other direction now. Go ahead and grab this. Fold that back just like that. Just gently make sure we're pushing it over really carefully. Just like that. Now this fold that we just did is actually going to, this is going to be the beginning of our main folds we're going to do as we start to roll this piece of paper up into kind of, not quite a tube, but into like a beam for the wing. So we're going to unfold the rest of the folds except for that one, and we're going to roll that fold right over, just like this. And if it doesn't match up perfectly with the other folds that we already put on there, don't worry about it. We're just trying to get the right size for this piece. Just keep rolling this over. Just like this. And as we get closer to the end on this, as we start to roll the very last bit of this up, we're going to want to be really careful not to tear it as we start to fold it, because it will tear easily if you're not careful with it. So I'm just going to keep on rolling it up here. Now, be careful right here. I've torn many of these as I've been making different airplanes as I do this. Alright, now this last little piece, it might not fold all the way around it to be like perfect, and don't worry about that. As long as you're able to get it to wrap around for the most part, you're okay. And so as long as it's nice and thin here and it's flat, we're going to be able to do what we need. So we're going to take this middle section here, that reference fold that we made before, and fold that right in half, because that's going to be what helps us to attach this to the rest of the airplane. So I'm going to take my airplane now, I'm going to get my other parts and pieces, and we're going to, now comes the time when we start to put it all together. So we're going to grab our body and our tail and our wing here, and then our little support pillar. And now if you're wondering where this is going to go right down inside of this area right here, just like this. And so, but first we're going to slide the tail in, and we're going to do our locking folds, and then the other piece is going to go down inside of the go down underneath the main boom of the tail. So we're going to fold this over just like this now. Now, as you're doing this, you're only folding the under tab part of the tail, not the full, the main body part of it, just the under tab part of it. Because if you do the main part, I guess you could do the main part, but it just makes it a lot thicker and harder to fold right there. And then I just fold this little middle piece up. Now, for this particular airplane, if you're going to do like the wireframe landing gear, you're going to want to just do it this way. But if we are doing the seaplane version of it, you're going to want to fold it a little bit. We're going to fold it a little bit different, but we'll go over that in that landing gear video. And so now we just folded these two little mid tabs up like this, and you can see, we can flatten it out. You're starting to see the body of the airplane. Things are starting to come together now. So what we're going to do now is, you see this little area up underneath this? We're going to end up taking that right there, and we're going to fold it back a little bit, just like this. It's hard to see here, sorry guys, it's kind of a small area. So just going to kind of do a reverse fold there, and that's what's going to help to lock our tail boom, or our support piece in right here. Once it slides up and in there, you kind of fold that tab up over the top of it, and it keeps it from sliding out and letting the wing come loose on it. Just like that. See? And now our that little middle fold that we did for reference is locked in place just like it needed to be. And so what we're going to do with these, we're going to flip these back up this direction. Now we're actually getting pretty close to the end of this video here. What we're going to do is we're going to fold these pieces up, and then we're going to do a little inward fold on the sides, or on these support pieces that'll lock into the bottom of the airplane wing. Alright, as for now, we'll just try and make sure everything's good and symmetrical as we're doing this. Just like that. And don't get discouraged if it comes apart a little bit as you're working on it. Just it takes a little bit of patience, but you'll get the hang of it after a while. Before you know it, you'll be making tons of these. And so now we're going to take, and on the tail section, we're going to kind of measure off of where the top of the wing tabs fold over, and we're going to go just a bit above that. If you see right there, where our main fold is, where it bends over, just take that. We're gonna fold this. I'm not folding it exactly back on itself. I'm actually folding a little bit of an angle here so that it can let this boom lean forward just a little bit, or so that these support beams can go forward just a little bit as it attaches to the wing. Just like that. Okay, so now we'll take this piece right here, and now we're ready to attach our top wing now. So we're just going to grab this piece right here, and we're going to crease it in half like we had it before, just like this. I'm going to flip this around, make sure the wing's on the right direction here, and then we're just going to take these two little tabs that we made from before and push these up inside of this wing area. There should be two little slots that each of them go into their own slot. And then fold that out. Now this will lock this wing on there to where, if you do it right, you could literally tear the body before you could rip the wing off the top of this airplane, because it's a really good locking fold. Now we're just going to take our little tab pieces, or our little side supports, and we're going to slide them up inside of this little overfold that we did on the underside of the wing. Now lock it in. And now our airplane is done, and we're ready to put on our landing gear or just go fly this airplane around.
Alright, well, now that we've made our airplane, I think we should go out and test it. Kind of a fancy one here. You got it? Ready? Ready? And Mr. Seaplane, which is coming up soon, guys, in another video. Be sure to come and check out my channel. See some of the stuff that's coming. Ready? Okay. Just on the landing gear fighting with me, so trying to keep it all centered. Alright, well thanks for watching that video, guys. I've been working on this new series of videos for a long time now, and I really love this new series of videos. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and to check out some of the new airplanes that I'm working on right now. Also, in this video, right down here, you can find the video on how to make the landing gear for this airplane, along with some of the other airplanes that I'm working on. So make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, guys, and I look forward to bringing you some great new videos.